Jets, managerial-wise, is a bit of an issue. A little bit of an issue there. But the Wanderers here going to push this ball into the attack. Says, can the A-League, can you change your name for the love of God, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. Can the A-League teams be competitive in the AFC Champions League? I think we've seen a victory. They got through the AFC finals today. They got through the next round. I don't really watch the AFC too much because I know the A-League teams can't really compare in regards to like your salary cap. In regards, Morland's going to whip that ball across, and that's going to go out for a goal kick. No, we'll go for a goal kick. A-League teams can't compete with the salary cap and the lack of salary cap with Japan and Korea and all these, these Asian teams that really have the financials to back them up. So that's why it was so special when the Wanderers did win back in, I think it was 2012? 2014, one of the two. That was why it's so special because it's just outrageous for them to go and beat the Saudi Arabian team. But yeah, I would love to see Australian teams compete in the AFC, but in the same sense, I just can't see it happening anywhere in the near future in regards to winning it again. I think that was just a shock win. Hopefully one day things can change and we can start to expand a little bit more and bring a little bit more quality into the A-League where we're able to compete with your Saudi Arabians and your Japanese and stuff like that. But for the time being, I think we're going to be a little bit more realistic about the AFC Champions League in regards to actually winning it. Great the victory have progressed. I think they have. I could be wrong. Great the victory have progressed, but still a while away from actually competing again. Allah says, yeah, the Saudi Arabian, South Korean, Japan teams are just too good. They just are, man. It's because they can spend whatever the money they want. They can spend whatever money they want. Hold on here 1 second. Sydney FC, who a chance? Free kick. Free kick from outside. Yellow card. Give me yellow. Give me yellow! Bloody Zanovic. Yellow card there for McGowan. And Sydney FC with a nice free kick attempt. Actually, they scored their first goal of the season via a free kick from a similar-ish position. A little bit more to the right-hand side, but, still a similar-ish position. And good chance here for Sydney FC to get on the board here with a 1-0 early days. But yeah, look, loads of A-League even went to the Indian Super League. Oh, that's exactly right. And like Adam Taggart with the Brisbane Roar, he went to South Korea. He's a good friend of mine. Well, I wouldn't say good friend, but I know him. He's a good bloke. He helped out with the channel quite a bit. He went over to Korea, I believe it was. I think it's Korea, not Japan. I think it was, yeah, he plays in the K-League. But yeah, like, for example, losing players like him to these other places that can spend the money. The Chinese Super League, we all know that's going to be big time soon. In regards to, like, they spend lots of money, man. Like, lots of money. Like, they're big time, but they're not as big time as they're going to be. I'm telling you that right now. But then again, with everything that's going on in the world, we might see that regress a little bit in regards to competitiveness with other teams. Lars says, hey, but there must be some reason why City Football Group invested in Melbourne City FC. Well, look, the salary cap's not going to be around forever. We will eventually see the A-League, probably dabble in expanding the cap, but in the same sense, look, I just think that City wants to put their money everywhere so that no matter what, they have a team and financial revenue coming from everywhere, even when some teams aren't doing well. So, as you've seen ever since, City Football Group came into the A-League, City have competed. They haven't won yet. They've won the FFA Cup, which is now the Australian Cup, I guess, but they've won the FFA Cup. Besides that, they haven't won yet, but they have competed a lot greater than previously. If they can win their first title, I genuinely believe they'll start a bit of a roll on. The guy says if the cap goes and Sydney would be too good. You reckon Sydney would be able to compete with Melbourne City? With the money that Melbourne City have? I don't know. If the cap goes, then Melbourne City start winning greatly because Man City will just invest because they know that then they could get into the A-League, the AFC. They can win the AFC, then you can start seeing some serious money because if they win the AFC, they can potentially play a team like your Real Madrids or your Barcelonas or your Man Cities in the World Club Challenge, and then you really start to make a name of yourself. Xavier Brown says, would the best A-League team do all-time survivor in the Premier League? No, mate. No. No A-League team would ever survive in the Premier League. They would go through the season with like one win. Like, if that, I don't even know if they'd get a win. Jeez, they could maybe against like a Sheffield, but Sheffield would still annihilate them, to be honest with you. I like the A-League, but at the moment, the South Korean teams, etc., are way better than A-League teams. It's because they've got no cap. It's because they've got no salary cap. You can't have better teams in the A-League when you've got a salary cap, but the way Australian sport in general is run, you have to have a salary cap. Otherwise, you're going to see Melbourne City, who are heavily invested by the City Football Group, they're just going to run rampant. They're going to absolutely run rampant in the A-League, and they're going to win every year. And you're going to see a Premier League-style sport where it's just the same team winning over and over again, and it just can't. That setup cannot suit the A-League. The A-League would then die. It would die. I'm telling you, you would not watch it. Because if one team kept winning it every time, it's different to when you're looking at the Premier League because you've got the relegation, promotion aspect involved there. You've got so many things involved with the Premier League that make that interesting despite the fact there's like 4 teams that win it all the time. 4 or 5 teams. Don't even talk about Tottenham. I told you Tottenham would bloody piss off as well. You know, they're a bunch of bottle jobs. Yeah, in regards to South Korean teams, like they're always going to have the better attendant. They're always going to have the better players because firstly, population size. Secondly, it's a more marketable game. Thirdly, obviously, you know, it's a very large league in Asia, let alone just South Korea. And yeah, South Korea is a very marketable country for sport, let alone anything.